I'm thinking it has to be something like ranged. I want to see some absolute nonsense.
I mean, Darce is open. Related it into a hot dog a while ago.
Please
Maybe
no.
Zaya and Rakan broke up with food. What's better food here? Coming down into it, but we see a different lineup coming up. QWQ locks in onto Diana, Nami, and Renekton. They're going in for some CC there. But Banana with Varus, Twisted Fate, and Kha'Zix. This is looking to be an early aggressive composition here, with Garen being the frontline tank for Banana.
Yeah, so Garen will be the safe pick into Renekton. That does mean that you can't really get anything out of that top lane. That top lane's just going to be a wash. So all the play needs to happen around this Varus. You're going to want to see if this executes correctly. Vendetta on the Twisted Fate. Or sorry, Soul on the Twisted Fate. Visiting Tails as often as he can. Other side, though, QWQ, they've drafted full engage. Everything in their team is built to get past that front line, to dive into the back line, to threaten that Varus. And to be honest, Skimmy, I prefer that. I think I'd walk away from that draft thinking that QWQ's full dive, full send combo should really threaten that backline.
That's interesting. That's interesting because I think we can actually full send it to our casters for game number 3. So, guys, take it away.
Thank you once again, Skimmy and the boys. And, you know, you guys got me hungry as well, talking about food. And you know what? Banana, they looking pretty sharp and clean. And in Singapore as well as Malaysia, we enjoy bananas in maybe a little bit of a different way. You have fried banana fritter, where it's crispy on the outside and it's still fresh as always. So, Riku, I know this is going to be another good game coming up here, where we saw a lot of chaotic fights happening around. So what can we expect for this game? And also, how do you like those bananas?
I like them, you know, Filipino style. I like turon for the Filipinos viewing out there. Turon is the best snack ever. Just saying.
Okay. I gotta, of course, search up what that is. And, of course, one day, hopefully I get to taste it. And now, let's get a taste of what these two teams are up to, as we do see that Garen going up against the Renekton between iNitrogen as well as Hotin.
Yeah, this is a very contrasting composition. You know, Banana just opting for more of that single target CC and the pick composition as well. You got Soul hunting with Vendetta, having to find targets using the Destiny and having to join Vendetta as well. With jungle invades, perhaps, that could be a choice. In the meantime, for QWQ, this is more of a big combo that we're looking at with the Moonfall. Perhaps, maybe we get to see the single target as well with the Assault and Battery, and they can immediately shut people down. We're opting for a big 4-man as well with Hotian here. Going to be that split push at the top side, but we talked about this before. The Garen is there to neutralize the lane. You win by not losing, and that's what a Garen does.
Yeah, I guess he's still pretty much winning a whole lot, and I guess this is the reason why our dear analyst was saying that, yeah, we're not really the biggest fans of Darius, and if Darius is a food, I think otherwise. It's not hot dogs, it's actually donuts, because he be Dunkin'.
I love it. Dunkin' Donuts. We'll see though. You know, it's a spinning. I don't think there are spinning donuts. The Garen. No, I don't think those exist. Maybe a donut without the hole.
Donut without the hole. I'm pretty sure there are some of that. I believe that they fill it with custard creams and all kinds of stuff that you could possibly get. Now, look what's here, bottom lane. I think this is quite a smart move here, separating the Rakan from the Zaya. And also for the fact that the Zaya will have a really stable lane, it's going to be pretty hard for the Rakan to dive onto Cool for this match.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit difficult just because of the punish potential Scarlet Petal has on the Rakan, especially come level 5 with the charm, so they really have to be careful. And the fact that Varus is just going to snipe from downtown, just really far range, just going to outrange Cool, definitely. So QWQ later on has to think of a way on how they can penetrate this backline. And the best answer would be Tommy. Tommy on this Vi with Assault and Battery, just a point-and-click CC. And there are two vulnerable targets on Banana. One is Twisted Fate, and one is Tails.
Oh, good bubble onto Tails, and they managed to also snare him up, bring him down to low HP,
Tails,
and he managed to kill just about in time. close call. Banana having kills here just to pop the summoners just in time. But look at who's here.
That was so risky. Yeah, this could be a dive, possibly, but they're spotted. Yeah, Tails wanted to get a bit more of those auto attacks in, but had the mini risk of losing first blood there at the bottom side.
Indeed. And now they're still gonna be camping him out, and he's not opting to back away. He says, "I gotta get my ult ASAP," because Ghoul is already level 5. Now it's definitely a little bit of a more difficult task. They seem to clean up a little bit more scraps here, having some golems here to work with. Now, back towards the top lane. Well, a little bit of spin, not a donut. High Nitrogen uses the Garen most often in time against a Renekton matchup so that you could just easily silence him and stop all this chain combo of damage that can come right through. But the question is, how much can the Garen bring to a team fight?
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things where you select eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which is your best target to silence. And it's usually whoever dives into the fight first. So you deny the following combo, the following sequence of the kit, and try to get that punish on board. Usually, you know, during dragon fights, if Tommy attempts to steal, get that silence down once he dives in and just focus him down. So Nitrogen's going to be very, very helpful later on. And it's all about that target prioritization where you want to put that silence in.
That's true, but he's got to perhaps take a long run just to get close to this vibe, which could easily just kite him away. Now Vendetta's working on that Herald. There is a ward spotting him out with the rest of QWQ. Eventually, it looks to just grab themselves that dragon instead.
It's going to be a bit of a swap. I mean, for a Banana, they just want to open up or deny actually this Rift Herald against Hotian here on this Renekton. Meanwhile, for QWQ, it feels like another deny, actually, because Banana would really benefit well off of this Air Drake just because of how their composition is made. Basically, with more of that roams coming from Soul and Vendetta. But so far, you know, it has passed the level 5 mark already, but still not a lot of movements just yet, despite QWQ always very extended in towards the bottom portion of the map. So Banana not being able to get priority in the mid lane as CLJ is able to put Soul on a tight leash.
Yeah, and we've already mentioned about leashes on Bananas, and now Tommy already gets spotted out. So he will just go in to scan out some of all these wards, will deny any sort of the entry point coming in from QWQ with just good vision game coming out of Team Banana. Now, I really wonder what's going to happen down bot if Tommy can actually find a pick, because Varus, not really the best AD that has any mobility at all.
Yeah, that's usually the reason why Varus is usually paired with a Nami, just to compensate for the lack of mobility Varus has. And so it's all up to positioning, mainly positioning, because the biggest question is, you know, will Scarlet Petal be able to get that peel off the board? Because usually he's going to be in the front line having to engage for the squad, because there's literally in a big team fight or a big clash, of course, Scarlet Petal will be your #1 engage. The secondary is their single target, which is the gold card into the Chain of Corruptions. Immediately try to get a pick, burst someone down, and I feel like Banana can capitalize on that.
Big moonfall dropping onto both members, Soul as well as Scarlet Petal.
What?
But while they're at it, they didn't seem like they wanted the full collision. Tommy saves his assault battery for some reason. And now they look to secure the bomb lane, but Vendetta's here. He heats up a bubble, and that's where assault battery connects perfectly. Finds Vendetta, still buys time. Scarlet Petal to save the day. You mentioned that perfect peel coming from support. He will come right in. Soul now flashes into the turret, but it will be Cole there to take him down.
What? How did Vendetta survive that entire CC chain coming from QWQ? But at the end of the day, it's Soul who suffered. He destinied into the fight, hoping to get the 3-man advantage. But look at this bubble. This is the one of the most dangerous duos, I suppose, just because of how much CC lock Cool has in Batzai. The fact that the bubble on top of the feather roots are just so deadly. And that's the thing, right? Varus alone is insanely vulnerable against this combo.
That's right, and you look at how Bajai has been playing, he definitely is the hero in many of all these occasions. Same goes to Scarlet Petal. It feels like this matchup here is really the battle of support. Oh, to see who's the master killer of them all.
Yeah, and the story has been interestingly contrasting because for Butzai, he wants to stick to the lane. He wants to stay with Cool. He wants to set up for Cool. Meanwhile, for Scarlet Petal,
Oh boy, another collision up into
no.
the river, and 2 ultimates being whipped off. And Tommy just running it down, gold card onto Tommy, and Tommy is not going to survive out of that. Same goes to the Galio, but CLJ, he dives in. That moonfall connects, but he will drop as well. A great stun in, and that is where that TF will falter. No summoners to even flash off that wall. Now Banana is forcing them back to mid.
yeah, it was iNitrogen unfortunately not present in that entirety of the fight, so it was on paper kind of like a scattered 4v5 situation, and the timing just couldn't be perfect as well as QWQ can set up for this dragon, especially that it's an Infernal Drake. Therefore, having to get that bonus damage is going to be important. Vendetta responds with, okay, I'm going to unleash this Rift Herald to alleviate pressure, see if we can buy time, see if we can get space to try and get a steal over to this Dragon Pit.
Interesting decision of a timing. I'm not too sure if it expired, but it could have been utilized for mid to set up for the Inferno Drag. And he was backing away. There's no way that they could even escort Shelly, whichever you want to call it, just to hit onto the turret, just like last game, you know? Both of the Heralds have not gotten themselves some good hitbutts off. Now Solo has the gold card. Might just be able to get a little bit more of a pick, and that is where the setup comes in. Good grand entrance. That's where Cole brings in the Ferrostorm. Might just be able to lock them in place. And the flash comes in just in the nick of time. But here comes a Moonfall! He took on all 3 member! He might just be able to get the quarter kill as well. Looking for Soul. He gets Bubble in time. And that's where they will go in for the chase. Vendetta managing his way out of here. And now QWQ got an open space for that dragon.
That was a crazy setup with the entrance coming from CLJ from the side with a beautiful moonfall. That was just so beautiful. The thing is, Banana, that was a fight that they wanted to start. They thought that they could take down Cool. We saw Nitrogen having to focus his silence onto Cool, seeing if that silence window is enough before it expires into the Featherstorm. Let's see that again. See, their target was Cool, but at the end of the day, Featherstorm, self-peel, weren't able to burst down Cool in time, managed to burn all summoner spells, and here's the punish. Beautiful moonfall coming from CLJ, is able to cut off the escape, and now it is the big lead in favor of QWQ after this.
That has to be a big flip out there for the highlights for QWQ. The best moonfall I've ever seen throughout the tournament thus far, and here comes another pick up here. Immediately Vendetta gets bursted down, going blindly into the bush, and Soul is just about next. So, Cole get pretty much great double kills up for free, and that calls for that Baron.
Easy Baron, 20 seconds on the clock before Vendetta, and Soul is able to respond. Look at Scarlet Petal, they have an idea. I don't think he can do anything with this though, as it is going down pretty fast, and now QWQ can start on with a siege. Get that 1-3-1 on the board, maybe just 4-1. No, CLJ on the side, Hotin on the other side. So this is going to be, let's see how Banana is able to defend, because they have a decent amount of wave clear. They've got Tails with a piercing arrow, they got wild cards coming from Soul and red cards. So I think this is going to be manageable.
Very much so, and QWQ this time around playing the better macro game. They've got all the objectives that they wanted except for the Rift Herald, and that's absolutely fun. You see that they've been able to, of course, handle that Rift Herald, and that last few fights that they've been taking was just absolutely great. Now it's gonna be Tommy. Just when I was praising him, Redemption will not be able to save them, but here comes the teleport as well. Scarlet Petal falling low. Gold card now drops right in. CLJ turns golden for a little battle. Corruption does not land. Tails now will have to just wait right back. Another ace for QWQ.
Beautifully done by Cool there, is able to sidestep that chain of corruptions easy, and then manage to get that route on towards Tails. And now they have the Baron buff still, and now they're looking to end the game.
What a clean one coming from QWQ, and now with only 1 minute left, I'm not too sure if this is the wisest of choice. They might not be able to do that. The timer is up for Soul. He might just be able to save the day. Can he do anything at all? It's QWQ here, going to that match point.
That 2-1 now in favor of QWQ.